is studying in Switzerland worth it? Let's say that you are going to do two courses. You're going to do up your bachelor's and then you're going to do your master's. So let's say bachelor's is for 3 years and master's is for 2 years. You can be sure of that you have 5 years of visa or like residence saved with you. So no one can take it unless and until, of course, you fail.
I know, right?
But hopefully that won't happen. Choose your courses wisely. Whatever you want to study, there is a separate video about that which I shot earlier. It has several links about different universities here, and then you can of course check it out, search by yourself in Google, etc. So let's say you have 5 years in for your residence. After that, three things can happen. First, you get a job, you stay. Second, you get married, you stay. Third, you don't get a job, you don't get a girl, you move. You have to leave the country after 5 years. So it's important for you to understand that any kind of study, even in the country you're living in or anywhere else in the world, is kind of an investment. You do need some kind of money with you, which you can invest, and then of course you can bring it back via study, via your development of your skills, or via money. So for that, you need a bit of investment here. Now, investment here is way less compared to other countries. For example, if you go to Britain or US, it is very expensive because the fees is very expensive, and then of course you have your living and etc. But here you have the university fees is quite less because it's public funded. You can work 15 hours per week, and then you can work full time in summer. Now, let's say, is it worth it? Well, lots of things can change in 5 years, so you will have plenty of opportunities in front of you once you're here. In terms of study, it's awesome. So you don't have to worry about the quality of the study. Whichever university you choose, make sure that you choose a public university and not a private university, because they're crazy and they charge you crazy and they're not even well recommended. Now, let's say you come here, you're doing your bachelor's now. You start to work after 6 months. It's very important, the 6 months in the starting, because it gives you a lot of time to settle down. One thing I want to put as a priority: learn the language. I can't tell you, if you can learn the language we are living in, it can be German, French, or Italian, depends where you're living in. Mostly it would be German. So make sure that within this 6 months you bring your language to such a level where you can easily talk with people and you can do normal things. It helps a lot. Doesn't matter with your part-time, doesn't matter with socializing, doesn't matter after your study to get a job. It helps you a lot. So let's say after 6 months you have some kind of German language and you start to work 15 hours a week. Perfect. You can at least make sure that your cost is met, and you can take care of it monthly expenses. So check out my other videos about cost of living and part-time jobs, etc. I will be making the next video which will state how to save money if you're in Switzerland, so that would be also awesome to watch out for. So now within these 3 years you have summer holidays. In these summer holidays you're allowed to work full time. Mostly it's for 2 months. It's June, July, whenever the exams are finished, and then you have summer holidays, and then you can work full time. Maybe in first 2 years you can use these 2 months to make your capital and make more money in these 2 months, because yeah, you will earn more compared to part-time, and you will have more money to spend. But I would say, if you're coming to the end of your studies, make sure that in these summer you use it to do some kind of internship in a company. That helps a lot. Here, main thing is experience. Study and experience, these are the two main things. If you have some kind of experience from your previous country, that helps a lot by itself. But once you start getting experience here, that is a key point. So two key points are language and your experience. That helps a lot. Rock and roll, rock and roll. Now, after you finish your studies, you have 6 months to find a job. Normally, for non-EUs, there's a rule that Swiss citizens and EU citizens comes first, and then non-EU citizens comes. That makes it way more difficult to apply for a work visa if you don't have awesome experience. This rule does not apply to you, because if you're a graduate from a Swiss university, the rule does not apply to you, and therefore you can directly apply for a job, and you can make sure that your employer knows about it. And if they make a contract for you, then bam, you are in, and you can stay here. And after maybe some years you can apply for an early C permit or early permanent residency, and after that you can stay here without any problem. So that's one solution right there. Even if it doesn't happen, 6 months goes by, make sure in those 6 months, if you can't find a job, find an internship. It's not paid like a normal job, but it helps you to earn experience which you really need Worst case worst, you go back home, but you will take lots of experience with you, and you have, of course, the lots of opportunities to get an awesome job back at home, or maybe in future you can come back here or go to some other country. So that's one thing right there. So you have a lot of studies, so you will won't have much time. You will be learning something new and doing something new. So that's quality right there. That is going to be with you no matter what happens. So in 5 years, lots of things can happen. Then, of course, one thing is that you might find a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Now, listen to me very carefully. It's very important if you marry someone that you are in love, because it's legally and it's not allowed, and it's also not fair for you and for the other person also, because you should be able to live with them for the rest of their life. So that's the main point. That may or may not happen, but that's a possibility there as well. People here are a bit shy, but they are different. They can talk to you if you start the conversation, and if you are if you bring yourself out there. So yeah, it's important. Yes, you can also find dating websites such as Tinder and whatnot, and it's way easier to meet with people also. But I think if you are in a university, or if you are students, you will already have lots of people around you, friends circle or whatnot. So it's important that you go out there and you bring yourself out there. Of course, it helps if you're handsome like me. So to conclude this short video, let's say important things. First is, of course, the language. Second thing is the experience. Third thing is the place you're living in, the state you're living in. And fourth is, of course, your will to do what you wish to do. If you have to balance it out, the quality and the experience which you gain here compared to the cost is way higher. Therefore, I think it is way worth it. If you want to study here, if you want to have a certain kind of future for you, then it is worth it. You have to be more careful of the studies, kind of study which you choose. So you have to do a bit more research, what you want to study and what kind of jobs are available after you finish your study. There's plenty of it. It is available. You must be staying at home because of the COVID-19, so that gives you a lot of time to think what you want to do in future. Now this is more like a 5 to 6 years plan, so you have to think long term rather than short term. So if you like this video, do like and subscribe. Thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day.